The secretary. So I'll leave
Oh,
the
I'll
order.
grab them.
David has only half an hour with us this morning. In fact, did you have anything in particular on the new business or old business?
No, you're good.
You'd like to have discussed while you're still here?
I had a weird phone call. That's not right. I had a phone call from a woman at Brookdale Corporation, a woman named Maeve. Brookdale's partnered with a group called, I think it's called Senior Partners or Partners something. And they have a branch on the Yukon campus. And what they're trying to do is set up where the students will actually go and spend time with seniors. So I have a meeting this afternoon with the CEO of that organization at 4:30. As I get more information on that one, I'll share it for the group.
I would be interested to hear more about that too, Dave. So
I didn't want to spill it.
I'm out. Where am I? There I am. Allison.
Don't worry, Allison, I'll find you.
All right.
Can you turn that up a little bit?
Yeah, I can.
David, doesn't Brookdale have all kinds of residents that are seniors?
Yes, but the challenge is when they spoke to the gentleman who's running the Yukon branch is transportation to South Windsor. And I was kind of like confused why would you need to go to South Windsor? You have all sorts of senior facilities right there in Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked to meet with the powers to be this afternoon.
Okay, and you'll report back to us, of course. Okay, then we'll start with our regular agenda. Any errors or omissions on the secretary's minutes? I don't know whether it's worth correcting, but you had mentioned that Will and I attended the Veterans Day. Will attended the Veterans Day luncheon and I attended the Thanksgiving luncheon. But the report is the same. They were both very good. Yes. Actually.
We make the motion
Yep.
that we
thank you.
accept the minutes as corrected.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Okay,
I'm up. Okay. So, obviously the main, thing that everybody wants an update on is all personnel related. So we do have a conditional offer out for a program assistant. I think that this individual will be a really great fit. So that was just on Thursday. So I'm really, really excited about that person hopefully coming on board in the next couple of weeks. We're kind of looking for the new year at this point to onboard everybody, the holidays, and we have several staff out that week between Christmas and New Year's, just to get everybody off onto the right foot when they start. And then we have second round interviews for the supervisor position on Wednesday. John is going to help out with those interviews. So myself and the library director are going to do the formal interview, and then John will give a tour and have some casual conversation, not formalized questions, but that same afternoon. So they'll kind of switch out. So we have two candidates coming back for second round interviews. So hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have a conditional offer as well.
That's the question.
Sure.
Somebody brought up, and it's true, in the past, we've always had a director who had a background with seniors.
Mm-hmm.
And are these candidates somebody who has some senior experience as far as not necessarily medical, because that's more, but any involvement with seniors, other
Yes.
centers or whatever.
Yes. All the candidates that were interviewed, this is second round, so we had other individuals, obviously in the first round interviews that we've already vetted, but everybody had some experience with seniors. Some of the individuals we interviewed had even previously run senior centers. No, we would not hire an individual who didn't meet the minimum qualifications, which obviously was experience with seniors. Yeah. We have our holiday luncheon, sorry, any other questions about the open positions? We have our holiday luncheon tomorrow. I hope y'all are joining us. We have pork tenderloin for lunch and a concert starting at 11. To that point, we've actually seen a really large increase in attendance here at our senior center. So I ran some statistics, comparing apples to apples. So July 1 of last year to the end of November is when I ran the statistics, compared to this year. And just to give everybody a sense, because certainly staff are feeling it, and we're seeing it. And I think it's due largely in part to the meal program. But so Monday's about a 20% increase. Tuesdays have had 100% increase. We literally doubled the numbers on Tuesdays of attending. Wednesdays actually has stayed completely the same. We're at 0% change. And then Thursdays we've seen a 33% increase. Fridays we've seen a slight decrease. There was a couple of holidays in there which threw off the stats a little bit. But also, staff have expressed to me that since town hall changed their hours, we've just seen in general, like some people just have maybe even assumed or just aren't out and about anyways because we're already closed everywhere else, including on the human services side. So that could be the reason for the decrease on Fridays. Mondays and Fridays are always our quieter days in general here at the senior center, but we have seen a little bit of a decrease on Fridays. We're working with zoning for the site permit for the walk-in cooler, so that's kind of the latest with that. You may have seen in this works that we have a new program called Warm and Cozy. So people are doing like socks and blankets and mittens and hats and stuff like that. That's all going to go to our Meals on Wheels participants. So we'll be doing that distribution by next week. This morning, a bunch of myself and several other members of my team are here bright and early over at the firehouse. We're doing our toy distribution program today to all the families. So we have 128 children signed up for that program. Yeah, so the room looked great. Lots of donations from the Supper Cruiser over the past week. And then everybody will get gift cards as well to help either supplement by going out and being able to shop or giving the gift cards as gifts, obviously. And I think we're going to touch on it later, John, in the agenda, but upcoming ideas for these meetings. And I know Cycling Without Age, I just want to throw it out there, they just got their Shaw thing that they're gonna, be able to give folks. Yeah, they got that delivered on Saturday. That was with funding from the town, ARPA funding that we provided them with $25,000 to go ahead and purchase that. But
I'm sorry, what did they get?
it's like a rickshaw.
It's a bicycle that
It-
carry people.
Yeah, it's like it actually attaches to an electric bike. And then so a senior who maybe is experiencing mobility issues, but would like to be able to get out and kind of get some fresh air can get on this rickshaw thing. And then it's an electric bike and they'll give them rides around town. And it's, I believe it's across the country. Manchester has a Cycling Without Age program. That's the most local one to us.
I didn't think we thought our roadways were very conducive.
They've mapped out areas. We are not sponsoring it. The senior center itself is not sponsoring it. The town of Mansfield supported their application to go ahead and purchase. They're going to be putting a storage unit actually at the housing authority is where the bike's going to be stored. So this might be a hub, and we're looking into what that would entail. It would be a hub or a connecting point for seniors to get these rides. But anyways, I want to throw it out there as a possible future presenter. Somebody, I'm sure, Bill Thorne or somebody would love to come in and just share and give more details about the program. I think that's it.
Questions? Just for your information, Laura, the what do they call it in terms of the rickshaws? They
Is there a
had
name
some
for it?
name for the program.
Cycling Without Age is the name of the program,
Yeah.
and it's called a rickshaw. It is, it's like a trike rickshaw, yeah.
But it came before the commission.
Oh, I remember, we did.
Oh, okay,
Right.
you were here.
Yeah,
Here.
we mixed it. But it went ahead anyway, so that's fine.
So we were waiting for them to get funding and see how far the program was gonna advance. And we did have concerns about the roads and things like that.
And it was through Mike Mansfield, so it's not,
Yeah.
so you all heard it out and the town, the senior center itself is not who is implementing this program. Like Mansfield applied for ARPA funding under their 501c3. The application was reviewed by the Human Services Advisory Commission and presented to town council, and all those entities approved it as a program for the community, not for the senior center.
Now, we had suggested that maybe Mr. Palmer would be a good contact at the time it went through here. Did he get involved in that
Yeah,
at
like,
all?
he's like.
Yep, he's a part of that whole group, yep.
Okay, when I woke up this morning, my left hearing aid hadn't charged.
No.
It looks like it may be dead, but I'm having a little trouble following, so it's not for lack of interest, so say it again louder or do what I can. Now, Will is no longer the WRTD representative, but you know where that stands with Barry? Did she take the next step?
I do have one update on that. So, the town has appointed, there was a gentleman, who has been appointed. We have 2 open spots. One person has been appointed. Mary, to my knowledge, has not submitted the application to the Committee on Committees to be in that position, but, at 2 weeks ago, right, the town council meeting, a new
Yes.
individual was
Yeah, he went to
appointed.
do
Yeah.
some town council meeting.
That was actually one of my questions for you all, though. So Will, you always represented WRT here and updated this group. Is that a requirement that the Commission on Aging have somebody provide that update, or is it just something
No, I
natural?
always- I don't know, Martina asked me to go on.
And he did.
I thought it was part of this, but I guess it wasn't.
Okay, so
I
it is
don't know
separate.
how that transpired, I just got a call from my.
They needed someone, so we need to know what's going on. So.
Okay.
And it was very useful, but I just lost interest in it.
So it feels like that might be a gap now, because we won't have that link to WRTP, so I'm not sure how, I mean, if Mary does it, that would be amazing, and then we would have that connection again, but.
Given the fact that they weren't paying any attention to us anyway.
It was extremely helpful. Okay. Sylvie, are you officially the Rolling Hills?
Oh, I suppose.
So your name should be there all the time.
For the time being,
Until somebody else goes.
till I get sick of it.
Yeah.
They had a Christmas party over the weekend. I gather it was sponsored mostly by Sun, with their usual good taste. The dinner was pizza at a Christmas party. Oh, well. I can't report anything other than I believe it was held.
The only thing I could say is I just talked to Kathy, living out there, she lives over where we do. And she said she went and she said there was about 20 there, which really surprised me.
I'm surprised there were that many because everybody I asked about it said pizza for Christmas,
You
I'll
know,
pass.
Same with me, but
No,
anyway,
thanks.
she said there was about 20.
They are continuing to sell. Winter months notwithstanding, that's about it.
Uh,
The director of Rolling Hills, the on-site manager, is aware of some of the problems, shortcomings. And I've had no trouble communicating with her, getting her attention and her cooperation whenever I ask for it. So there's that much is a plus, but obviously she's not the last word, so. Oh, whoops, they fired me. I should probably report that.
Who fired you?
So, oh, look at Will looking so
What do you mean?
disappointed.
What do you mean?
Sun will now be doing their own newsletter.
You're kidding me.
You didn't read your newsletter,
I
obviously.
don't read it. Wow, okay, well,
Yay.
that's
Yay.
news.
Yeah, right, I forgot that one. Or,
Okay, that's news.
actually, they, and with Sun's typical class, they fired me. I knew about it ahead of time, but they officially fired me by running a page in the newsletter. Which of course Will missed. Actually, this has been in the works from the beginning. Sun typically does newsletters for each of their communities. We were one of the last holdouts to be doing our own newsletter. So as of January, if there is a January issue, it is going to be done by, everybody got their bureaucratic hats on, a committee. If they can get enough people to volunteer to make up a committee. Otherwise. And that's all the news that's good to bring. The rest of it will be to ourselves.
okay, thank you. Mary's not here.
Mary, had a doctor's appointment today, regrets she couldn't be
Do you have any, information from Jennifer Hill?
about.
On anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, my mind is. They, Friday, Thursday, Friday, I should look at my phone, they had a special Christmas celebration for, I believe, 19 students who volunteered, at Juniper Hill this past semester. It was a sorority and fraternity. And it was very well attended. The young people were, it was fun. It was fun. 4 of the senior chorus members sang during that event, so it's good event. HUD inspection, the HUD inspector came. She came, she saw, she went. We are getting new HUD guidelines. We are also getting new HUD financial guidelines. So the government is looking at assets that people have a little bit different. So people are saying that that's probably going to increase some people's rents. So we'll have to see, because before, like if you had $22,000 in a savings account, they would only count your interest. The interest income, but I think HUD might be, well, they're gonna give us a seminar, they're gonna all come, and have everyone who's interested go and listen to what HUD is going to say about our assets. So it make it harder for seniors, I don't know. That's like, I was gonna say, that's why we need senior housing, because, you know, I don't know. Everything's based on fair market value, so. You know, if someone's rent goes up to $1,000, hopefully they can pay.
They gotta get money from somewhere.
We'll let you.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna kind of mix the old business and the new business, because they're kind of interrelated at spots. But to pick some low-hanging fruits, you have a list of the dates for meetings for next year. I'd point out that due to my negligence, it didn't get voted last meeting, and there's a 30-day requirement that they be posted. So the January meeting is shifted one Monday later, so we'll be within the 30-day window. Everything else is pretty much as it usually is, except Veterans Day falls on a Monday, and so that month it'll also be the third Monday.
January date? Yeah, so that's Martin Luther King.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure, I thought I saw that when I reviewed the,
Okay, so the 11th is Martin Luther King?
the January 15th, is that what you have as your new date?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, so that is the holiday. So, and then if you push it again, then you're so close to the next meeting, so,
we're going to have one on the 21st and then one on the
Right.
12th.
no, yeah.
we have enough trouble getting enough time in 4 weeks. What's your feelings? Skip the January meeting?
So there's no wiggle room about the 30-day posting? No.
That's a.
Well, I was wondering, we could possibly do it as a special meeting, but a special meeting's agenda is very rigid.
Yeah. You can't vote on anything too much.
Unless what your date you vote on is what you have on the agenda, period, that's it. I mean, is there any specific topic we would like to bring up?
What do you think, Nancy and David?
I think we'd be all right if we skipped the January meeting.
I'm fine with that as well.
Make a motion, we skip.
Second.
Okay,
Canceling the.
all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Gee, but you don't have anybody looking for work.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion that we approve the list of dates with the January date stricken?
I make a motion that we approve the list of dates for 2024 with the January 15th meeting canceled.
Will seconds? All those in favor? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. We need to address our missing member. I didn't get a response from anybody. But, okay. Rachel, I copied on the minutes and agenda, and I haven't heard anything. So that doesn't really look like a viable prospect unless we hear differently. Nancy Moriarty, I didn't have contact information that I could find. I can work harder on finding a contact and seeing if she is interested.
Hey, John,
Yes,
if you call my mother, she can hook you up with Nancy's contact information.
okay.
She's on my mother's payroll at the swap shop.
Ah, oh, I probably know her, but don't know her name. I'm
Yeah,
aware.
mom will have her contact information for you.
Okay. And we have advertisements and whatnot that will be ongoing without intervention.
Yep, it was highlighted again. I don't know if you noticed the language change in the, so normally we just say like, hey, you can join. This is when the Commission on Aging happens, but now in the newsletter, it's like big, bold, new members needed, underline exclamation point. So, yeah.
It was also posted in the Juniper Hill Village
Oh, great.
newsletter.
I doubt very much that it will run again at Rolling Hills.
Yeah, now you have less say over it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we lost,
I'm sorry.
I said we lost our contact over here. I don't know what they were.
Hey, John,
Well, I can continue to,
David?
go ahead.
sorry. Hey, John, I got Nancy's phone number if you want it.
Oh, all right. Ready?
860.
Yep.
429-7203.
Thank you. That saves me some work. Okay, any other discussion on getting our commission filled? Okay, well, I have it right here. I've got the letter that, Will and Martina composed to the planning and zoning. And I didn't make copies, so it's short, I'll read it. To Bill Aho, Chairman, Mansfield Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Aho, statistics show that Connecticut's elderly have inadequate age-restricted affordable housing, which is more than true for the town of Mansfield, where there is virtually none. The Mansfield Commission on Aging is asking the Planning and Zoning Commission if the Mansfield Town Council and the Mansfield Town Council to back our proposal to set aside housing in keeping with the town of Mansfield current requirement of designating 15% of new housing as affordable housing. The Commission on Aging is asking that 15% of that number be set aside as age restricted, 55 or older, affordable housing. Is a fraction of the amount needed, but it is a start in meeting the needs of Mansfield's elderly population. Taken from the Affordable Housing Committee report, approved multifamily development since 2020 spreadsheet, 1,261 units to be built in 5 different housing complexes, garnered 125 affordable units. If 15% of those were age restricted, that would be 19 apartments. Even a small number is a start in the right direction. Mansfield Commission on Aging, John Reeson, Chair. Comments about the general content?
I have a question, so now that you read the letter, that's good. So I don't have to ask for an amendment to the agenda. So at the, meeting that Will and I were at, what is it? I'm sorry.
Affordable housing.
Yes, they asked that we send a copy of the letter to Jennifer Kaufman. Planning and zoning. And, what's the secretary, what's her name? Well,
Oh, Dorothy?
Dorothy.
Yeah,
Dorothy.
yeah.
And a copy to
Dorothy,
Dorothy.
well,
And if it's helpful, John, I can send you both those emails. Easily, Dorothy works in my department.
When we were coming out from the meeting, Will and I said, oh, I'll send the message to Laura, and then I was telling my daughter, and she said, I think you have to do that legally. You have to do it through the council. So it's out there, thank you.
My only thought is, rather than just coming from me, should we sign the names of everyone?
I think we'll give it more color.
Sure.
Okay, and if I'm right in the county, we've got everybody on the committee right now, so I'll add everyone's name.
Sylvie, did you have a question about it?
We still have the space.
I always have a question about anything that goes out under the Commission of Aging. I would prefer to see it going out looking like we passed high school English. To wit, there are at least half a dozen combined adjectives, none of which are hyphenated and should be.
Do you wanna work on that and send it to the rest of the group?
It already worked.
The editor already.
I can't help it, I'm an editor, I was born an editor, I'm gonna die an editor. I can't read a cereal box without editing it.
I got it all.
Lisa,
No,
okay.
look at it.
Laura assures me
Equal signs.
that the editorial
No.
comments or whatever. And we already voted, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll include all the names. So if you would get those together, send it to me to forward, and then, why don't you send Allison one as well? And she can continue with the distribution.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It never went out to Paul.
Oh. Okay. Missed that. Okay.
I'm not sure whether we're under as extreme constraints to elect officers as meeting dates. But nevertheless, I suggest that we plan on having a officer election, the meeting in January, which we won't have. Can we get away with doing it at this meeting? We're all here. Is there an item on the agenda that's vague enough to cover us?
Add an agenda.
You can add it.
It's not a special meeting, so you could add. and then-
New business.
You need to make a motion to add an agenda item, correct? Yeah.
Okay,
Do you want one of us to make the motion? Does it matter?
No, it
Doesn't
doesn't.
matter.
Could be any of you making a motion to add an agenda item.
is anybody willing to volunteer that's not in a current position?
Well, you would have to add, so if you want to do that today, you would have to add an agenda item saying that you're going to have an election of officers, or however you want to word it. Somebody would have to put that motion for it, so they have to second it, so it can be recorded for the record, and then you could throw it out
Okay.
there. Yeah,
I'm good with that.
so somebody just wants to.
Somebody wanna make the motion?
Make a motion, we add an agenda meeting, agenda item, because
And then say what for.
for the purpose of electing new officers.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye,
I,
opposed nay?
I'll second.
Perfect.
Good, that carries. Now we'll get back. Anybody who does not currently hold an office interested in offering to be an officer. Let's see, we have 3 officers. Myself as chair, Laura as secretary, and Martina as, what's your official title? Vice chair or?
Vice chair.
Vice chair.
Relations.
Are you willing?
Yes.
not very willing.
Martina?
Yes.
Okay,
And yourself, Jenna, you willing?
yes, I would not be at all opposed if somebody were willing to take it over. Okay, you've heard the suggestion for officers for next year. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously. That's called the railroad.
Willing's a funny word.
Okay, Now, let me go back over old and new business, see what we've missed. Oh, yes. Martina and I and Martha Kinsman attended the focus group on the senior center. Do you want to give just a little bit of review?
Sure, well, first of all, I was hoping more people, I think more people were scheduled to come, that would happen. But hopefully more people will come and they'll be more focused, because I know
How many?
how many were scheduled?
Oh, how many showed?
3 of us.
Oh, no.
Wow.
John, Martha Kinsman, I.
Do you think it's because I felt like even with this group, like it was scheduled so long ago, and then it was a lot of lead time. I wonder if, and did you all get reminders and stuff?
Did we get, I have to go back to my,
Well, not enough,
Computer.
okay, so even the fact that,
see, when I get something, I put it in my phone.
Yeah, so then-
calendar, so.
okay, that's a
I don't go
bummer.
over the breakdown.
Okay, all right, that's good feedback for me to know though, so I can follow up and see how we can help make sure that, okay.
One of the main issues is that, so we did tell them that, we have information here about, the, breakup group that, Sarah had gone to, and because Marty is, handicapped, we stressed that it needs to be completely ADA compliant. And that we're asking them not to make plans in a vacuum, that they get to talk to everyone about what's needed. And also a thought for the future, because we have all these 50-year-olds. We need to make the new senior center somewhere where they also want to be. So we have to think about now. We also have to think about our needs for the future and the needs of the younger seniors who are coming, who we want to come. So, anything else, John?
Do you remember what their timeline was? I got the impression that it was fairly short, that they were gonna start to write their report.
Right, but I thought they needed more focus groups, was it? Right? Because ours was not adequate. So it seems like they needed more focus groups, but I don't know. But they do want to start.
That's the evening one, right,
Evening.
meeting. They had it.
No, it's different. I know there's a lot going on, but no, that's different. That was for the developments that
Oh,
are
yeah,
happening.
that was-
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Your way about it.
Northwest.
Yeah. That's different. This is about the senior center.
Oh,
And so we did tell them, please look at the plans, you know, the book is here. And we liked a lot of the ideas, and we had been going around looking at different senior centers. So that covered it.
did it come up that funding is available to do this?
Funding for the new senior center. No, they didn't talk about funding, they're from the architectural group. This young woman,
okay.
Bristol.
I don't know who
Yes.
I was like, once they took the names, I got dropped off of everything. So literally the last I saw of any communications was probably August.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not on anything for like,
Who is the group?
so I believe this was 110%. Does that sound right?
The group,
Yeah,
hold on.
so we have like,
No, I don't, that doesn't sound, but.
full disclosure, I can't keep them all straight. We have like 3 different consulting firms, depending on which project it is. I met with 110% and they asked me specifically about the senior center. I met with them and Jay O'Keefe from the community center. They did like a mini focus group, it was me and him.
They specialize in senior centers, this group.
They have experience building, yes.
Brand.
So thank you, that's what I was thinking, Civic Brand.
Are they a part of 110%?
I don't,
Take it all.
I've never heard that, I've never heard. of
110%. They might be a part of Civic Brand. Yes, but there are a couple different firms, but they specialize in building community centers, senior centers, like, you know, this is what they do, they.
Are they local?
No, I don't think Civic Brand is. If it's the one I'm thinking of, they're out of, I think, Colorado.
Who
Let's
selected
Google
them for town council?
process, you know, I'm sure they all went out to bid, you know, they put it out to bid and people. Yeah, this one's, okay, I gotta look at, okay, Civic Brand is based out of Texas, no, that's not. Oh, okay, Texas and Colorado.
What's the name of the group?
Civic Brand.
Brand,
Now I know.
Civics?
civic, civic, and CIVF. Brand. And they were holding focus groups, and I thought there would be more, to hear what people want to have in a senior center. They're specifically, I believe, for the senior center.
Oh, okay, so 110% is the consulting group that's doing the park and rec master plan. Okay. Okay, it's all, I'm gonna get, because I've been involved in those, but there's obviously crossover with the senior center, so the senior center keeps coming up, especially if we end up building onto the.
Right.
So that's what it is, okay, so 110%, yes, it's the park and rec master plan.
That's terrible.
110%. And by the way, when you Google that, a lot of stuff comes up. And then, Civic Brand, yes, is the one doing more just like the broader, focusing on facilities. And I think it's not just a senior center, right? I think it's also like town hall, like it's just kind of like what facilities do we have here in town, or what ones do we need to prioritize? Senior center being the highest priority.
And our focus group was seniors.
Just about. Yeah, but to your point, so I know they are doing several focus groups. But just hearing from 3 seniors and you know, yeah. And I believe this is like step 1 in a very long process, but, I'll try to get more information. Even if they came and spoke to just you all, not as a
Yeah, I thought
formal
they were
meeting,
coming
but.
here. They're not scheduled to come here to talk to all of the seniors?
No,
Who would
What I
have been here?
yeah.
but
What I don't
they
understand,
would,
each,
I mean, I could reach out to them and say, are you gonna do so 110%
Okay.
did a focus group here this summer. I don't know if y'all remember, but that was then coming in and they all met. That was them.
Oh, okay.
So, I know, really confusing, and then when those, and we did get a good turnout,
that's the one we have in the town? That meeting?
well, we had a seniors, they actually came and did a focus group here at the senior center over the summer, 110% did.
Because there's so many unique features in each town. I don't understand how somebody from out of town can make decisions on our center when we have a lot of restrictions.
Well, the idea would be that they're not making decisions, they're just gathering all the information and then they're gonna put it together for the town, like this is what we heard, here you go, town of Mansfield, now you take it to the next step. They're not gonna be designing it, they're not gonna be, you know, they are literally just information gatherers. And everybody I will say that I've dealt with from 110% in Civic Brand are all very impressive. I mean, they're if you go to their websites and stuff like that, like they are very, very impressive. And that's all they do, is just gather information. So they meet with people, hear from them and say, here you go, Town of Mansfield, here's the bullets, like this is what was identified, here's the commonalities, here's your challenges, here, you know.
Would it be Civic Brand to come here and talk to, coordinate something with whomever, Mary or whomever, hold another group?
Yeah, I think so, based on, especially since so many, because I believe, you know, like, and I'm talking like Sarah Taylor days, like, because when that list was compiled, she's the one who came up with the names. So it was summertime. I mean, that's how long this has been planned. So then to have it kind of fall flat and only have 3 people show up is a bummer. So I will follow up and see, you know, who can I, you know, who I can talk to about having a specific focus group. I think to this point though, it's confusing to everybody, right? So like you, like the neighborhood one about development is different from, but it also impacts, right? Because they ended up talking about what's going there and what's happening. There's so many crossovers with the senior center. 110% was Park and Rec, but Park and Rec has a lot of synergies with the senior center, so that was a focus group that happened here, but it's separate from, it's kind of like what's our long-term vision for our park and recreation program. And then Civic Brand is looking at facilities, and obviously that's probably the most relevant to you all here is, you know, what's gonna happen to the senior center and what does it look like down the road and where is it gonna be built?
Are these companies talking to each other?
I don't know.
Because even the meeting, the Northwest.
Yeah.
Northwest.
Yeah,
At that meeting, there were a lot of people, but some of the things that came up impacted the senior center. Like if we wanted to have the senior center over at the school, there were people there who said, no, the school should be an arts council. I mean, they all need to be talking to each other. Because they have all these focus groups and no one's talking, you know, it's maddening.
It's too focused.
Yeah, it really is, you know.
Let me, I'll talk to the town manager about all this stuff that
and
you're
it
bringing up.
makes seem like a waste of time. Because they come up with something, but they have no idea of what our needs are.
Well, that's why we have to stay in their faces.
Yeah,
And it seems like the number one of all
and
these
waste of
firms
money.
is Civic Brand. That's what we really wanna make sure we get out in front of.
Yeah.
The facilities.
But they also need to be talking to whomever wants to develop the Northwest because we need to know if indeed we are going to have the school for a senior center or for senior housing. There are other people, you know, there are people who think it should be something else. So I guess I don't want us to get lost in all of the senior center to get lost in all of this. And I also don't want senior housing to get lost.
Sure, okay.
And the
Let me follow up and I will work back.
One thought is, we don't have a January meeting.
Ridiculous.
We certainly could offer, what is it, brand?
Civic Brand.
If we would all come together on our usual date, they would have potentially 9 people to interview. I am very concerned about the impression that meeting left. It could really come back and haunt us and say, oh, no one's interested in the senior center. That's.
There could be confusion if everyone who was at that 110% meeting thought it was specifically for the senior center. That could be the confusion. And maybe that's why people think they did their due diligence and so they're not showing up for this thing.
Right.
So I was confused. I never heard of 100%.
Communication.
Okay, so I could, find out who the best contact is from Civic Brand and put out there the 8th as a possible regular time, 9:30 a.m. on the 8th.
What's the meeting?
The week before,
What?
That's
because you don't need the 30-day
Right.
notice.
It
Oh,
would
oh,
just be your
Don't
normal.
I put it back on my phone. Okay, folks, I put it back.
Keep up, Martina.
I took it out of my phone. All right, so we may have some kind of meeting on you.
Maybe.
All right.
And I would think that if we don't get that meeting, that we should at least write a letter from the commission. But I guess we'll take it one step at a time. Assuming the timeline is flexible enough so that we can do that at the February meeting.
Yeah, okay.
What are we getting? I can't.
I don't know if anybody looked at the town council meeting, but they had their 2023, 2024 goals and objectives.
Excuse me.
So that's this evening. Yep, they're reviewing those tonight.
And to our benefit, it says advance efforts to promote the expansion of the new senior center via new construction or redevelopment of existing buildings. So
Excellent.
we are definitely on their mind.
That's tonight.
I don't believe, there's gonna be a Zoom option for this evening. The public is welcome. It's actually here. Welcome. It is their goal setting session. So it's kind of a special meeting in the sense that there are other agenda items. The main focus is the goal setting for the next fiscal year. And we'll be here at the senior center, but I don't believe they're, you know what? I think I'm wrong. I think they are gonna live stream it. But either way, you're welcome to come here too. They'll have a section set up. We're gonna set up a section for audience. But that's great, because I didn't see, I haven't reviewed yet the final one, so that's awesome that language is in there. You think that's new? That wasn't in there last year?
No, this is 2023, 2024. I just got it right off there.
Yeah, they carry over. I just was curious if, so we do carry over a lot of goals from the previous years. I was just curious if that's new to
Well,
this
yeah.
year or?
That was the minutes of their meeting, so I figured that was the, you know, that was the new one that they came up with because they were talking about it. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think it's great. If it's new or if it's a carryover, it's still a good thing. Yeah.
Okay,
Can I see it again? See that, rather than just hearing.
maybe, yeah, it says 2023, maybe it's mine,
And that's tonight at what time, 7?
Yeah.
You can have that. I don't need it.
Okay.
Just, okay, I don't want to. Okay, I don't know where you're at.
Neither do I. My wife is secretary. And the group she's secretary for doesn't follow the agenda. They jump all over the place. It drives her crazy. So I apologize to her.
Okay,
We
well,
usually do a little better, but
on your item DB of old business. The Affordable Housing Committee. The Affordable Housing Committee went up before the town council for their yearly report. And the feedback was astronomical from all of the councils. So they are definitely behind us. Okay, and now we just gotta get things in the work, like get the applications for these things. Run through the lawyer and then run through whoever, then run through the town council so we can get them, so we can start getting people in. There's a bunch of things that are just hanging because they need to be reviewed and approved. So we're just waiting for that. Just to let you know.
now that doesn't include the sub set aside, the second 15%.
That is gonna be a fight that, Martina and I are gonna have to crawl up for. Okay, it's gonna be a big fight. But we're gonna hang in there and we're gonna keep, in fact, they brought it up at the meeting, the chairman of the last meeting, the chairman of the Affordable Housing Committee brought it up, especially asking us what we reiterated exactly what we were looking for. So, yeah, it's there.
And we'll make sure this letter gets out. If you
Yes,
see any other ways,
that would be a big help.
help,
That would be a
here you
big help.
go.
Okay.
Other items that I missed off the agenda with all the switching, but
You talked about future project topics for COA and new business.
Do you have something in mind? Wendy?
Oh, no, old business.
oh,
So it's on the agenda. No, I can't.
Old business days. Not new business days.
Well, they're pretty much the same.
Okay, I guess we kind of covered that. We can
Yeah.
cover with the other. Yeah, all right, we're all covered.
Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor,
Aye.
click off their button. Thank you all. And we'll see you maybe in January, but definitely February.
So how are we going to communicate this in January focus group meeting? How are we going to do that?
Well, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, I will
wait for
see
it to decide on that.
I guess to the group is their flexibility, so that's very specific for them, they may very well have a conflict. Are you open to other dates?
I am,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
am,
I'm open to any date.
yeah, I am.
okay,
Any
The
date, any
advantage
date
of
you
that
can
one is
give.
it's already cleared on calendars pretty much.
right. I'm just thinking, the likelihood is probably slim, right? Or at least if I can give them options, I could say this is the preferred, however, the group is flexible. And see what they say. Like I said, I've been completely out of the loop as far as where things stand since summertime, so I have no idea, you know, they could very well, there might even be another focus group that you could tack on to that they're already doing, I don't know. So I will get whatever information I can and then just report it back to everybody.
So we could give them any of our commission dates, meeting dates and.
Mhm.
Can't make that,
Sure.
right?
And we would be clearer with freedom of information if you just sent out what you found. I believe.
Like if I just send an email out to everybody?
Right.
Yes,
The
yeah,
emails,
yeah,
like,
yeah, the emails are fine, yep.
You just can't do individuals, right? I'm trying to stay clear of
Holiday.
the legal needs of how you can inform people or act. Like I wanted to call Laura and say, please send out a letter to blah, blah, blah. My daughter said, you can't do that. It has to go through committee.
I don't think that's a problem.
That's not a problem.
I mean,
Okay.
Because the group had already decided,
Oh,
so you're not
Yeah.
making a decision outside of what the group,
Right.
if the group hadn't voted and hadn't, you know, if you were, the letter was pending review by the committee or something like that, but the commission had already voted and agreed to send it, so you're totally fine to
That's
just
why I
say,
said-
I'm gonna talk.
Yeah.
That's why I said at the meeting, I'll just send you a copy of the letter. And Martina does, I'm saying, well, I don't know if we can, I mean, we already approved it, so, you know,
Yes.
why are we going through this?
If you think of it this way, I mean, the whole point is to be transparent, right?
Right.
And not do anything without the public being able to be aware of what decisions were made and how it was carried out. You all publicly discussed it, reviewed it, voted on it, I mean,
So who
yeah.
cares who it goes
Yeah,
out to?
it was,
Yeah.
that's why I just said, I'll just send you a letter.
Well,
Huh?
tell her.
Yeah.
You know, but that's okay, that's fine, we'll do it this way, as long as it gets done, that's the whole point.
We're covered.
We're covered. Yeah.
As long as it gets done. Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
are all of you coming tomorrow? Yes.
I'll be here singing.
Then you have